highway through a skyscraper, a road swallowed by the ocean, a bridge woven from grass. Sounds impossible. They're all real. Across the world, humans have built transportation systems that seem to defy logic. And today we're exploring 15 of the craziest. Which one would you dare to cross? Tell us in the comments and subscribe for more incredible journeys around the world. Welcome back to HD Travel Insight. Qixing Mountain via Ferrata, China. Building a path across a mountain usually means cutting into the rock. Qixing Mountain takes a very different approach. The route is attached directly to the cliff face. This via ferrata near Zhangjiajie uses steel cables, metal footholds, ladders, and suspended sections to create a climbing route across near vertical rock. Participants remain connected to a safety cable while moving from one exposed section to the next, with the mountains opening far below. Some sections rise to around 1400 meters above sea level, where the exposed terrain and changing mountain weather make the experience far more intense than an ordinary hiking trail. Unlike the massive bridges and highways elsewhere on this journey, Qixing Mountain doesn't conquer the landscape with concrete. It uses the cliff itself as the road, turning a sheer rock wall into a path through the sky. Kuandinsky Bridge, Russia. The Kuandinsky Bridge was never meant to carry cars. Built as part of a railway project across Siberia's Vitim River, it eventually became an unofficial crossing for drivers willing to take the risk. The bridge stretches roughly 570 meters, yet its driving surface is only about 3 meters wide. Wooden railway sleepers form the path across, with no guardrails separating the wheels from the edge. That challenge becomes even greater during Siberia's long winter. Snow and ice cover the wooden surface, while strong winds sweep across the exposed structure, leaving drivers with very little margin for error. Vehicle traffic was officially prohibited in 2016, but the bridge remains a striking reminder of how an unfinished piece of railway infrastructure became one of Siberia's most notorious crossings. Eshuachaca Rope Bridge, Peru. Every year, 4 Quechua communities in the Peruvian Andes come together to replace an entire bridge, using techniques passed down through generations since the Inca era. The Huachaca Bridge spans about 28 meters across the Upper Mac River at an altitude of roughly 3,700 meters. Instead of steel cables, its structure is woven from local grass, twisted into ropes and braided by hand into the main supports. The remarkable part is that rebuilding it is intentional. Families prepare ropes roughly 70 meters long, and over just 3 days, the old bridge is removed and a new one takes its place. This annual renewal has become far more than maintaining a crossing. Recognized by UNESCO in 2013, it keeps ancient knowledge alive through an entire community. Huachaca isn't preserved by preventing it from aging, it's preserved by building it again and again. Passage du Gois, France. The timetable for Passage du Gois isn't controlled by traffic lights or opening hours. It's controlled by the Atlantic Ocean. The 2-kilometer road connects mainland France with Noirmoutier Island across a tidal bay. Around low tide, cars, bicycles and pedestrians travel across exposed pavement like any ordinary road. As the tide returns, seawater spreads across the asphalt until the entire route disappears beneath the surface. Elevated refuge towers stand along the crossing for anyone caught by the rising water, while warning signs remind drivers to check the tides before entering. Then the cycle reverses. The Atlantic retreats, the pavement emerges, and traffic begins moving again. Passage du Gois isn't fighting the ocean. For generations, people have simply learned to travel according to its schedule. The Donghae Suspension Bridge, China. A suspension bridge this narrow would already be intimidating for a small car. The Donghae has been crossed by fully loaded trucks weighing tens of tons. The bridge stretches roughly 240 meters across a deep mountain gorge, while its roadway is little wider than the vehicles using it. Steel cables carry the load overhead, but the exposed deck and limited clearance on either side make every heavy crossing visually extraordinary. As a truck moves forward, its enormous weight transfers through the deck into the cables, while the gorge remains visible just beyond the wheels. This isn't a grand multi-lane highway designed to hide the landscape from drivers. Everything here feels exposed: the vehicle, the structure, and the enormous drop surrounding them. Which one has surprised you the most so far? Tell us in the comments, and stay with us because the impossible is just getting started. Hussaini Suspension Bridge, Pakistan. The reputation of the Hussaini Suspension Bridge comes from something surprisingly simple: the enormous gaps between the wooden planks beneath your feet. Suspended above the Hunza River in northern Pakistan, the bridge is roughly 190 meters long, with a narrow walkway made from wooden boards attached to steel cables. Many of those boards sit far enough apart that the rushing water below remains clearly visible with almost every step. Wind adds another dimension. With such a lightweight structure, movement travels through the cables and wooden deck, making the crossing sway beneath those walking across. For local communities, suspension bridges like this have long provided essential connections across the rugged Hunza Valley. Today, Hussaini has also become an attraction for travelers willing to experience the crossing themselves. Veluwemeer Aqueduct, Netherlands. Most road and water crossings solve the same problem by building a bridge. At Veluwemeer, Dutch engineers chose almost the exact opposite solution. Instead of lifting cars above the water, a section of the N302 highway passes beneath an aqueduct, while boats continue sailing across the water directly overhead. Opened in 2002, the Veluwemeer Aqueduct is about 25 meters long and 19 meters wide, carrying a waterway roughly 3 meters deep above the road. The design allows both road and boat traffic to keep moving without requiring a traditional drawbridge to repeatedly open and close. From the air, the arrangement creates one of the strangest intersections in the Netherlands. Cars briefly disappear beneath the water, while boats glide across their path just meters above. Sometimes, the smartest way to cross water isn't to build a road over it, but to let the water cross the road. Ong Kop Wooden Bridge, Vietnam. For local people, Ong Kop Wooden Bridge isn't an engineering spectacle. It is simply part of everyday life. Motorcycles, bicycles, and pedestrians have used its narrow wooden deck to cross the river and shorten their journeys. Stretching roughly 800 meters, it is often described as one of the longest wooden bridges in Vietnam. Much of the structure is assembled from timber and bamboo, creating a roadway only wide enough for light traffic. But its simplicity also leaves it vulnerable. During the rainy season, powerful floods can damage or wash away sections of the bridge, forcing local people to repair and rebuild what the river has taken. There is no massive steel framework or sophisticated machinery here. Its most remarkable feature is simpler than that. A fragile-looking wooden crossing has continued to connect communities, one repair and one journey at a time. On Sicilite aqueduct, Waterways, ook. When the Ponce-Silti aqueduct opened in 1805, engineers had achieved something extraordinary for its time. They had carried an entire navigable canal across a valley. The aqueduct stretches about 307 meters across the Dee Valley and carries boats roughly 38 meters above the River Dee. Instead of a conventional bridge deck, a narrow cast iron trough holds the water, while 18 stone piers support the structure high above the landscape. Even more remarkable boats still use it more than 2 centuries later. From the towpath, there is little separating travelers from the enormous drop beside the canal, while narrow boats appear to glide through a ribbon of water suspended in the air. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2009, Ponce-Silti remains an extraordinary reminder that long before modern mega-projects, engineers were already finding ways to send entire waterways across the sky. We've crossed mountains, rivers, and even waterways suspended in the sky, but the journey isn't over yet. If you're enjoying it, share this video with someone who loves discovering the impossible. Garsa Suspension Bridge, Nepal. Long before this bridge attracted adventurous travelers, its purpose was far more practical, moving people and livestock across the mountains. The Garsa Suspension Bridge spans a deep river valley along one of Nepal's mountainous routes, providing a vital connection where steep terrain makes ordinary roads difficult to build. Its narrow deck is shared not only by pedestrians, but also by horses, mules, goats, and other livestock moving between communities. Suspended high above the valley, the lightweight structure can sway as people and animals make their way across, while strong mountain winds add another challenge. There is no elaborate machinery here and no futuristic engineering. Gasa is remarkable because in one of the world's most difficult landscapes, a narrow bridge in the Himalayas can become an essential lifeline for an entire community. Drift Bridge, Switzerland. The retreat of the Trift Glacier transformed this alpine landscape, creating a lake that made access to the Trift Hut increasingly difficult. The solution was a suspension bridge inspired by the great crossings of Nepal. Today's Trift Bridge stretches about 170 meters across the gorge and hangs roughly 100 meters above the glacial landscape below, surrounded by steep rock turquoise water and the remnants of the glacier. The first bridge was built in 2004, before being replaced by a safer and more stable structure in 2009. What began as a practical solution for access has since become one of Switzerland's most dramatic mountain crossings. Magdeburg Water Bridge, Germany. Near Magdeburg, Germany, two major waterways meet in a way that seems to turn the rules of transportation upside down. The Magdeburg Water Bridge carries the Mittelland Canal directly over the Elbe River. Stretching 918 meters, this enormous aqueduct doesn't carry cars or trains. It carries water with full-sized vessels sailing across it. Beneath them, the Elbe continues flowing, normally creating the surreal sight of ships passing high above another river. Completed in 2003, the bridge eliminated a lengthy detour and connected important inland waterways much more efficiently. From above, its scale is almost difficult to process a bridge filled with water ships floating across the sky and an entire river passing quietly underneath. Gate Tower Building and Hanshin Expressway, Japan. In the crowded heart of Osaka, a stream of cars races toward a 16-story building, but instead of turning away, the highway disappears straight inside it. Hanshin Expressway passes directly through the 5th, 6th, and 7th floors of Gate Tower building before emerging from the other side and continuing across the city. It looks like two pieces of a city accidentally collided. In reality, it was deliberate. When Osaka ran out of room, engineers didn't move the highway or the building. They simply found a way to build them together. Kawazu Nanadaru Loop Bridge, Japan. A major landslide in 1978 destroyed part of the mountain road near Kawazu, Japan, leaving engineers with a difficult problem: how to reconnect the route across a steep difference in elevation. Their solution was to make the road circle around itself twice. Completed in 1981, the Kawazu Nanadaru Loop Bridge forms a giant double spiral, stretching about 1064 meters. The roadway climbs roughly 45 meters, while completing a full 720-degree loop, allowing vehicles to gain or lose elevation gradually instead of tackling the mountainside directly. Supported by two central towers, the structure looks especially unusual from above, where cars seem to circle the same piece of mountain before continuing their journey. What began as a response to a natural disaster ultimately produced one of Japan's most distinctive mountain roads, a highway that solves the problem of height simply by turning around itself. Eshima Ohashi Bridge, Japan. Few bridges demonstrate the power of perspective as dramatically as Eshima Ohashi. Photographed from a distance, its roadway seems to rise almost vertically, making cars look as though they're climbing the side of a giant wall. The reality is less extreme, but the engineering is still impressive. Stretching about 1.7 kilometers, the bridge reaches roughly 45 meters above the water, allowing large ships to pass underneath. Its steepest gradient is about 6.1% on the Shimane side and 5.1% on the Tottori side. A telephoto lens compresses the distance and exaggerates that slope, creating the famous roller coaster appearance seen around the world. So Eshima Ohashi isn't impossibly steep. What makes it remarkable is how a practical solution for marine traffic became one of the most visually deceptive bridges ever built. From highways cutting through buildings to bridges woven from grass, these places prove that when geography says no, humans often find another way. Some were born from necessity, others from extraordinary engineering, but all of them changed the way people move through the world. Which of these 15 places amazed you the most? Tell us in the comments below, and if you enjoy discovering places that seem impossible, subscribe and join us for the next journey. Until then, keep exploring, and we'll see you in the next adventure.